there's a lot of talk about, does she get Botox? Does she get Botox or not? And I'm telling you all right now, I get Botox in my left foot because my foot cramps into a claw and I can't walk without injections every 3 months. I'm grateful to the office for fitting me in. It was no easy task. In fact, it got off to quite the rocky start. You see, I didn't understand what it meant for a person who works in an office to get Botox sent to the office. It required an acrobatic feat of mythical proportions and several backbends. Not the yogic kind, but the kind that, you have to sort of contort yourself in order to fit this healing modality or this potential alleviation into the system. The insurance companies don't make it easy. It took 37 calls to get this thing rolling. But now, like clockwork, if I can make it there on time, I see this office and get fairly painful but definitely tolerable shots into my left leg, allowing my foot to uncurl. You see, I'm becoming they're becoming talons, like a bird gripping its perch. My foot is curling. It reminds me of that scene I used to love from Blade Runner where Rutger Hauer is on the top of the building and he's talking about, I've seen things you humans, blah, 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 Orion and all that jazz. And he says, time to die, and releases the dove after the stigmata of punching the nails through his hands. The stigmata, the heavy-handed, no pun, Christ reference. To get his hand to open, he punches the nails through. I would do that to my foot, but that wouldn't work out so well. So in terms of Botox, the answer is yes, in case anybody was wondering, since I'm sure that nobody was wondering, but I thought I'd tell you anyway. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, I don't think it's my business who gets Botox or who touches themselves up or who uses Photoshop or who uses real-life Photoshop and contours their face or does some special reversatrol, I don't even know, machine or whatever. The star-bellied sneetches have stars upon theirs, or take them off, put them on, take them off. It doesn't matter. Like a friend once said, you know what's beautiful? I think it was actually Dolly Alderton. Her advice on Botox and aging from Letters Live. I think that's where I heard this actually. She says, you know what's great? You know it's beautiful to be curious and kind and interested in what other people are saying. That's what's really beautiful. That's the advice she would give to her kids, her daughters, her people, because beauty, of course, is all relative in the eye of the beholder. But what's really important is that you are engaged. Nobody wants a pretty flower that doesn't talk back. We're not collecting handbags here, folks. We're much more than just the latest style. And kindness doesn't go out of style. No one's going to make fun of Madonna if Madonna's a good person. Is not true, though. People will make fun of whatever they want. They will criticize everything. You can be as kind as you want to be. But if there's a spectacle made of your skin because you need it tighter and tighter and tighter, like that woman on Brazil getting her face stretched by the madcap doctor, surgeon, then perhaps that's the wrong focus. Back to what Dolly Alderton said. How can we be more curious and interested and kind? I'm practicing lately this thing called having compassion for people who hurt me or who hurt others. There's a rage that wells up within me when I hear about someone being abused or bullied or, molested or beaten, whatever. And we all have that initial hit, like, well, that's a horrible thing to do. That person is evil and blah, blah, blah. I may only know 1/10 of the story, a smidgen, a slice, a sliver. I may only hear one side, and yet I'm ready to murder that person in my mind, In my mind, hello, NSA, just talking about thoughts here. Pontificating. Probing, not reality. But I may feel those very strong reactions to these stories, and yet we do not know the history, the full story, the involvement, and how those two characters or many characters or situation unfolded, how they were interacting, the engagement. We can't know what's going on. You can say, thank you for the lesson, or make it into whatever you want. But the truth is, how someone looks, how they behave, what happens, my goal, my job, my focus is not to critique or judge it, because I cannot possibly know what's really going on. I'm neither a mind reader nor a judge, nor do I have an omniscient point of view, as in a movie where the narrator is aware of all things at once. I'm more like, just the protagonist or just the first person's point of view. I don't have the whole story in my own stories. Or what if I'm just the witness? Or what if I'm just an extra in the scene? And that's my point about all of this. We are all taking turns being the extras, the protagonist, all the different parts that you can possibly play in every story. And that's okay. I don't want to be anything but the witness, ultimately, because the witness is ever present and not judging everything. When I meditate in the mornings, I'm sort of cultivating that witness muscle where I simply observe. Hello, thinking. Hello, ruminating on the past. Hello, tripping on the future. Hello, anxiety. Hello, desire. There you are again. And let it come and go. Thoughts. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Or you could also say, if you need Botox in your foot, your shoulder, your nose, your neck, your bum, or your face, it doesn't really matter. It's all pain alleviation. And the only thing that really trips us up, possibly, is the comparative thinking, which is useless, as in comparing myself in my 50s to myself in my teens, or comparing what someone would do in a circumstance to what I would do. Completely and utterly useless. I can, however, have some amount of compassion or relatability or kindness, or feel a general or genuine, rather, warmth towards someone who might have caused pain or wounded me or others. Because we're human. We mess up, things happen, we do these things. We can always say that we're sorry. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Please forgive me. And if that's not possible, make the amends however you can. So, as one of my former teachers did say, do no harm. We don't always practice what we preach, but we do our best. So I'm looking at my calendar here. I'm due for the Botox in the foot in a couple more months. And thanks to my great doctor, and to my other doctor, too, who called me today with the best news I've ever heard. He said, and I quote, "Oh, one of your prescriptions was wrong. When we punched it into the system, it was very close to another medication you're taking. It was just 4 letters difference. And I almost had a heart attack because it was a drug for Alzheimer's dementia." And I remember thinking, oh God, did something that I said or something that I did make him think I needed this medication? Nope, just a clerical error. We're so very sorry. And it was, an extreme apology, of course. And I thought, no, I just want to have a party now. This is the best news. Phew, dodge another bullet for another day. I'll keep my wits about me. Do the same. I hope the same for you. I'll see you on the other side of this night, that is. It'll be morning soon. Thanks for listening.